Hey guys, so today we're going to focus on solving two-step equations. And I took these 3 steps directly from your notes. The first one says undo addition or subtraction. Secondly, undo multiplication or division. And lastly, we can check our answer by substitution. So I'm going to walk you through an example so you can see why we have to follow these steps in this particular order to solve an equation. The example I have for you is negative 2x minus 6, and x is equal to 5. So in this expression, I would plug 5 in for x. So I would say negative 2 times 5 minus 6. And we know that when we're solving an expression, we have to follow order of operations. So I'm going to follow PEMDAS. And this tells me that I'm going to multiply first. So negative 2 times 5 gives me negative 10 minus 6. And negative 10 minus 6 gives me negative 16. So if I look at the right side now, it says negative 2x minus 6 equals negative 16. So on this side, we have the solution, but we're now solving for x. So we're doing it in the reverse order. And if I'm doing this in the reverse order, it means that I'm also going to need to follow order of operations in the reverse order. So if I write this backwards, it tells me that I'm going to do subtraction or addition first. So looking at this equation, negative 2x minus 6, and I need to get rid of the subtraction first. To get rid of a minus 6, I'm going to say plus 6. Remember to do that on both sides of the equal sign. Negative 16 plus 6 gives us negative 10, and that's equal to negative 2x. To get rid of the negative 2, I'm going to divide by negative 2, and I'm going to divide this side by negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 cancels out, and it leaves me with 1x. And negative 10 divided by negative 2 gives me a positive 5. So x equals 5. So the difference between an expression and an equation is the equal sign, and that you have to solve everything in the reverse order. All right, let's focus on another example. So I just told you that we should be following PEMDAS backwards. So I put that at the top of the screen just so you can reference back to it. And the next example we're going to look at is negative 3x plus 4 equals negative 11. Remember, the goal of solving an equation is to get the variable by itself. That means that you should always be looking at the side with the variable first and eliminating things from that side. So on the side with the variable, I have negative 3x plus 4. And I should be doing subtraction or addition first. And since I have a plus 4, it means that I'm going to minus 4 on both sides. Positive 4 and negative 4 are going to cancel out. And I'm going to be left with negative 3x equals, and negative 11 and negative 4 gives us negative 15. So negative 3x equals negative 15. Negative 3x means negative 3 multiplied by x. So to get rid of that multiplication, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 gives me a positive 1, so 1x. And negative 15 divided by negative 3 gives me a positive 5. So our solution is x equals 5. Now on the right side, I'm going to come over and check my solution to see if it's correct. So I'm going to plug 5 in for x. So negative 3 times 5 plus 4 should equal negative 11. Negative 3 times 5 gives us negative 15 plus 4 equals negative 11. Negative 15 plus 4 does give us negative 11, and since we got the same thing on both sides, our answer is correct. It's not required that you check every single equation, but it's good for you to know how to check it in case you want to double check all your work. The next example we have is x divided by negative 3 minus 6 equals negative 12. So I'm going to look at the side with the variable on it and get rid of the addition or subtraction. I have a negative 6 here, and the opposite of a negative 6 is a positive 6. So I'm going to put a positive 6 on both sides. Negative 6 and positive 6 cancel each other out, and I'm left with x over negative 3 equals, and negative 12 and positive 6 gives me negative 6. Now I have x divided by negative 3, and to get rid of the division, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 3. If I multiply by negative 3, the division is going to cancel out, and I'm left with x equals, and negative 6 times negative 3 gives me a positive 18. Now if you want, you can plug back in and check this. So if I was plugging back in for x, I'm going to say 18 over negative 3 minus 6 equals negative 12. 18 divided by negative 3 is going to give me negative 6 minus 6 equals negative 12. And negative 6 minus 6 does give us negative 12. Our next example is negative x plus 3 equals negative 7. So I'm going to start by subtracting 3 from both sides. Positive 3 and negative 3 are going to cancel out, and I'm left with negative x equals negative 10. Remember, if there is not a number in front of the variable, the understood number is 1. So I have negative 1 multiplied by x equals negative 10. To get rid of that multiplication, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1. So negative 1 divided by negative 1 is going to cancel out. It gives us a positive 1x equals, and negative 10 divided by negative 1 is going to give us a positive 10. So x equals 10. Pause the video, write these 4 problems down in your notebook, work them out, and then press play to see if you get the correct answer.